friends, Jackie here from Interact. Let's talk today about optimizing your quiz. Now, the easiest way to optimize your quiz is to understand how it's currently performing. And to do that, you're going to want to look at your Interact quiz analytics. So let's dive in, open up your Interact account, and we'll check out the analytics that you can see and download and how you can read those. We use a quiz called What's the Best Quiz for Your Business? And so I'm going to look at those analytics with you today. So over in your Interact account, navigate to the quiz that you're wanting to look at and then click on the Analytics tab right here. When the Analytics tab opens, you're going to first be looking at this Overview tab right here. So let's just look at what information you can pull from the Overview tab. To be honest, this is my favorite place to start, especially when you're trying to figure out how to optimize your quiz. Before we even look at the data, filter out the time period that you want to look at. So if you made a specific change and you want to look before and after that happened, if you want to look at all time, you can click that as well. So first things first, update the date range that you're actually wanting to look at the data for. And just remember that you can click all time right here if you're wanting to look at the data for as long as the quiz has been live. That's what I'll do just to pull in the maximum amount of data that we can sort of analyze together. Okay, back to this funnel. Right over here, I start by looking at the views. So this is how many people have actually seen your quiz. If it's not enough, if it's not to your liking, if your quiz isn't getting enough visibility, then that's where you should stop. Focus on optimizing your quiz to get it more visibility. In order to get better quiz results, you're going to need more people to see it, therefore take it so that we can get people into this funnel. So if you're not getting the views that you like, that's where you should start first. Market your quiz more, try different platforms, try different placements, maybe try pop-ups versus announcement bars versus embedding versus putting it within links. Now, keep in mind that when you embed a quiz on, let's say, a blog post or on a landing page, and it's all the way down at the bottom, if someone opens that web page or that blog post and they're only looking at the top of the page, right? They don't scroll all the way down to the bottom, it's still going to count as a view because they've viewed the page that the quiz is available on. So keep that in mind. If you're seeing a bunch of views, but not a lot of people clicking start to take the quiz, then maybe it's just the placement of the quiz on the page. Okay, from here, then you can see how many people, after they have viewed it, clicked to actually start taking your quiz. And this little number in gray right here is the percent conversion from total views down to total starts. So 31% of the people who are seeing the quiz are actually clicking in to start taking it, which is a pretty good number. Interact quizzes average a 40% conversion, so 4 out of every 10 leads coming to your site should become subscribers or should be taking your quiz. So it does seem that there's a bit of an opportunity to get more people to click in and start this quiz. So for me, looking at these analytics, maybe that's, again, where I would stop and then go back to my quiz. Where is the placement? Is there too many button clicks to get into starting to take the quiz? Is it the title? Could I play around with different versions of the title? Could I try different photos or images on that cover? Do you remove the cover and just have them start right with question 1, right? These are all different things that you can try if people are viewing your quiz and not enough of those people are clicking start to actually take it. Moving down the funnel, then we have completions. Now, a completion means the lead has gotten to a quiz result page. They've seen a quiz result page. If your opt-in form is required, then the number of completions and the number of leads will always be the same because you require them to opt in, become a lead, and therefore they've then gotten to the quiz result page. They've seen it or have been noted as a completion. If your opt-in form is optional, like we do at Interact, then the number of leads and the number of completions will be different. 9,248 people in total saw a final quiz result page, but of those 9,200 people, 3,100 of them or 3,200 of them have subscribed. They've become an actual lead. if people are clicking start and actually taking your quiz, but then there's a big drop off in completions, which I can see here, it goes from 7 down to 7% conversion there. Focus on your quiz questions. Where are you losing them within the quiz? And this is where Interact's growth plan really comes in handy. So I'm going to switch off this tab. We'll come back to it in a second. The question and answer analytics. And this is where, again, if you're seeing drop off within your quiz, you can pinpoint exactly which questions you're losing them on. So this is the first question of our quiz. What are your business goals for the next year or so? Here's all of the answers that we give. And then at the bottom, you can see drop off. So about half of the people who have clicked in to start taking this quiz have dropped off in the first question alone. So this signals to me I should either change this question, maybe remove it if I don't necessarily need to know this to recommend the right quiz, or I could even just push it down further into like the back half of the quiz. Typically, once somebody gets at least halfway through your quiz, they're going to complete it because they've already spent some time in getting there. So they're going to spend the rest of what's needed to get the actual result. So moving questions that aren't converting really well, but that you still want to ask down to the later parts of your quiz, maybe adding it as the last question or in the back half of your quiz, should help with getting people through it. If it doesn't, then maybe very seriously consider removing the question or changing it up entirely, or just adjusting the language so that it makes more sense. Okay, last thing I want to call out on this overview tab is the number of leads, because we have this optional quiz opt-in form. So a little hack that I like to try or like to do with this is I go to the question and answer analytics. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom to look at how many people answered the last question of my quiz, which looks like it is about, right here, viewed, actually answered, 11,800. Okay, so the last question of my quiz, 11,000 people answered. So then if I go back to the overview tab, it's telling me that 9,000 people actually got to a quiz result page. So if 11,000 people answered the last question, right? And only 9,000 people got to a quiz result page, that means we lost about 2,000 people on the quiz opt-in form itself. So that would tell you, hey, go look at the quiz opt-in form, write something really compelling for your audience. What would make them want to subscribe? Now, for us, I'm not too concerned about this number because we prefer to keep our opt-in forms optional. We want to give you the choice to be on our list rather than force it. And so if this were a goal of getting maximum leads over maybe quality of leads, right? Then maybe adjusting this to a required opt-in form would help to increase that. And again, you can gauge the type of leads that are coming in, if they're buying, the actions that they're taking, and things like that. Other things you can look at on this overview tab is the breakdown of the results people are getting. Now, we have quite a few quiz templates or industries that we're recommending in our quiz. So this is a lot of results. You probably do not have this many quiz results. Maybe you have 3 to 4, right? But over here in the top results section, it gives you a breakdown of how many people are getting each result, which is a great way for you to get a read on who's actually in your audience, and or in our case, the offers that we have or the templates that we have that people would need. For example, the top result that people are getting in this quiz of ours, which quiz should you use for your business, which links them to specific templates, is actually we don't have the perfect quiz template for you. Now, this is great for us, or at least it helped to sway or move us through our product feature roadmap, right, of things that we're building out, because we noticed that there are about 40% of the people taking this quiz that aren't finding a very specific template that they can use. So what we did with this information at first was create more templates, right? We would reach out to those people. What were you looking for? Give us a little bit more information on your business. Does that relate to a template that we have that they could have used? or do we need to make a new one? Which we did. And then that's why our result pages or all of the results got a little long here. But now that we have Interact AI, we can recommend that they start with that. Hey, there's not an exact template match for you, so why don't you go ahead and fill out the Interact AI form to get the best quiz made for you for your business. So this top result section can really help to influence the offers that you have for your audience. Make sure of the results that people are getting, maybe even using the growth plan to look at the way they're answering their quiz questions, your quiz questions, or the way they're answering them, right? Do you have offers for the people for what they're telling you, right? Really look at what they're saying, how they're answering, the results that they're getting, and make sure that that really matches up with your business and the people that you want to work with as well. This just does a little bit more research for us as well. You can see that the templates are sort of based off industries. So we have life coaching, entrepreneurial, education, software, and IT. So this just gives us a breakdown of how many different people are in these different types of industries. Again, helping us to decide on blog content that we're writing, videos that we're making. We want to speak to the people, the majority of our audience. Moving over to the leads tab, this is where you can download a list of all of the leads that have completed your quiz. So again, you can adjust the date range. So for what time period do you want to pull these leads for? And then click download leads. Now, from this column, again, you can adjust the date range. You're able to choose what information you want to download. So in our quiz opt-in form, we only collect first names. So I'm just going to uncheck these boxes here. If you left them checked and exported or downloaded the CSV file, these would all be filters in your sheet, but they would obviously be empty because people aren't filling that information out on the opt-in form. So it's going to be blank. So I'll just keep my spreadsheet a little bit more simple and only select the fields that I'm collecting on the opt-in form. Also, whether you are on the growth plan or not, you can also pull the specific answers people have chosen for your different quiz questions. Again, you can have that shown for all of the quiz questions or just a few of them by checking the ones that you want to actually look at. Once you have this set up to your liking, just click Create Download File and you'll get a whole CSV file that you can maybe adjust, filter, whatever you want, or even import into your email marketing system. Now let's look at the analytics you can see on the results tab. So again, you're able to see the total number of views, so how many people got to that specific result page, and the number of leads that came from that got that result as well. But here's something new that dives a little bit deeper, is the number of skips. So if your Interact quiz opt-in form is optional, they're able to subscribe or not. If they didn't subscribe, they skipped this step, they're going to show up here. So this is how many people that fit into each, that would have gotten, right, or that did get but didn't subscribe each of the results. This is how many people didn't subscribe from that section. So again, that just sort of also gives you a read on, how many people in your audience are coming from these different industries, or in our case, but in your case, maybe it's for the different results that you have. The other thing that you get to see is the number of CTA clicks. So on an Interact quiz result page, you're able to add a call to action button, a URL to that button rather, at the bottom of the result page. This is the number of people, again, based on the result that they got, that had actually clicked on that button. So again, you can see a really high number of clicks on a few of these and a really low number of clicks on some of the other ones. So look at the results that the low ones are getting versus the high ones, right? Are those people a fit for your audience? Do you need to change up the copy on the button? Maybe that's not the right resource for them. So you can really see in the click section here how many people moved to the next step. And maybe what that means for the type of person that's in your audience. Just looking at something real quick here, the people who are getting the spirituality quiz templates, the conversion for them from number of leads or who got on the page to clicks, it's pretty high. So maybe that's just the type of person that they are, that they really like to research things, versus someone else who doesn't as much. For example, health and fitness got 977 views, but only 55 clicks there. So let's look at that page specifically and see, are there different things that we could adjust to help more people click that CTA? Also, what is the CTA? That's something that you could evaluate to optimize for your quiz as well, making sure that you're giving them the right next step or the right resource to guide them on their journey based on the result that they got. This sort of gives you all of the information, but according to date. So you can see, let's zoom in a little. These are the number of people who have viewed, started, and completed the quiz over the dates, each day within the date range that you're selecting. So this could come in handy if, let's say, you were doing some type of promotion. Look, there was a huge spike right here of how many people viewed and started the quiz. So what did we do? Where did we share the quiz? Was it a certain blog post that it got launched in? Was there a certain announcement that happened that really caused this to spike? Let's do more of that. Or if the conversion was really low, was that tied to a certain campaign or launch? What could we have adjusted to get more numbers like this? And then underneath that, not recommended for this length of period of time because you can't even read these numbers. The black is the actual percent conversion rate that you would see on each of these days. So the orange dot is marking the specific date, and then it looks like there's like a black dot that's comparing it to. Those are actually numbers, percent conversions. So if you just hover over the date, you can check out the conversion rate as it appears. And that, my friends, is how you can use your Interact Quiz Analytics to optimize your quiz, or just get a better read on who's in your audience, how's your quiz performing overall, so that you're able to tailor it, optimize it, and adjust it to your ideal customer's liking. Again, remember, keep an eye on the analytics, adjust the date for the time period that you're wanting to look at specifically. And if you are using your analytics to make changes to your quiz, we do recommend making small changes over time. So again, if you're looking at views to starts, focus on just the visibility of the quiz. And once it becomes more visible, then move to the next layer. Are people actually clicking in and starting it? If not, playing around with the cover, the way it appears in wherever you're marketing it. And just making those small changes so you can really see what is affecting your total results, so that you can do more of that and ultimately find more success. When you are ready to optimize or make changes to your quiz, don't forget that we have some AI tools available to you for free. Head over to ai.tryinteract.com/tools. You'll access this page, and let's say you aren't getting as many starts on your quiz and you want to play around with the title. Use the quiz title generator to give you different ideas of what a title could look like. Same thing, if they're starting the quiz but aren't finishing it and you're losing them in the questions, are there different questions that you could be asking? Could you change up the way that you're asking these questions? The quiz questions generator will help you with that. And if you need an entire quiz made for you, then simply click up here on Try It Now to have the entire quiz built and added to your Interact account.